and welcome back everybody to the GuideWell Insights Lounge. We're here at day 2 of Exponential Medicine, and I have a very special guest with us. This is Carlos Elana Lenz. Carlos, welcome to the interview.
Thank you very much, Karen. How are you today?
Carlos is the Principal Technology Strategist at Frog Design. Carlos, you're obviously very well tuned in healthcare and technology trends. What do you think will be the next trend to take hold in the healthcare industry?
So for me, there are two big trends that I've been tracking in healthcare, and one is along the lines of cryptographic technology or crypto technology and artificial intelligence. So first, starting with cryptographic technology, people have heard of the technology called Bitcoin, but behind the scenes is actually a technology called blockchain, which is enabling this ability to transact all different kinds of information and data. And I believe that's going to be a big step change when we start seeing blockchain-enabled systems for electronic medical records, smart contracts for patients, being able to track and control healthcare data. I think it's going to be a big revolution in how we manage that well and also securely, giving patients that power, but also enabling new experiences. The other area I mentioned is artificial intelligence. And this space is advancing so rapidly, it's scary. Within the beginning of this year alone, we've seen a lot of advances in deep learning, which is just revolutionary. I think the one that's most palpable today will be IBM's Watson or something similar, where you have this artificially intelligent assistant to help make diagnosis of patients' symptoms or work hand in hand with doctors and nurses. So those two areas are really going to push forward, I think, in a big way in the technology sector.
Let me ask you a quick question. As far as the technology, this blockchain, right now we know that data can really be so siloed. Mm-hmm. How is it that you see this really becoming much more frictionless, the sharing is standardized, and to make that quantum leap forward, don't we need to have that kind of infrastructure in place?
Right, so there's a big challenge in having all these information silos, right? And so one of the areas that blockchain is unique is that it is a public ledger database that is globally available, right? So now one entity controls that information. It's actually maintained and controlled as an open global database, which sounds completely counterintuitive,
right,
but it actually is made it possible by some really interesting capabilities of cryptography, which make this possible. So we can both hold on and share that data, but be secure in the fact that it's controlled well.
Absolutely, it sounds fascinating. Yeah. So as far as exponential medicine, we certainly are exploring so many healthcare innovation trends. How about the trends that you think might actually fade out from use in the next 10 years or so?
Fade out from use. Well, I have some really high hopes for nanotechnology. I still remember watching the movie Inner Space as a child and seeing this gentleman shrunk down and moving through the body. I just don't see us getting quite to that level. I think nanotech will advance a certain field, but it's not going to be quite level in 10 years where we could imagine shrinking things down and having these smart little robots floating in our bloodstreams quite yet.
Right. I want to pivot back a bit. I know that you're going to be leading a workshop here. Could you please tell the audience what exactly will you be leading that workshop on?
Of course.
And what do you think people will get from it?
Of course. So I'd love to lead this workshop. Well, I'm going to lead this workshop on a passion I love. It's again blockchain. Mm-hmm. We're looking at what is the capability of blockchain for healthcare in general. So we're structuring this breakout session with Chelsea Barabbas from MIT, and we're going to be taking people through understanding of what is blockchain, what are its superpowers, its capabilities, and then posing these challenges in healthcare to help them solve through blockchain. So it's an interactive design thinking workshop. It's going to have people coming up with ideas on the fly, really get a taste of what it's like to do innovation and design thinking with Frog and MIT.
Well, I think you probably have the best possible audience for a workshop like that, so I'm really excited to hear what comes of it. One more question for you, Carlos. Where do you see the greatest opportunity for innovation in healthcare?
I personally, the greatest opportunity for innovation, and this is what I consider somewhat of a low-hanging fruit, is experience design. Really changing the experience that we have, not just for the patient, but for the physicians and the nurses, the practitioners, people who provide additional self-care, the providers. For example, if we take a look at emergency medical records, we recently did a study at Frog, and it's still an ongoing project where we've spoken to different physicians and seeing what their experience has been like using EMRs, and seeing how it has hurt, in some cases, the actual doctor-patient relationship or hurt the relationship between nurses, and what we can do to actually simply change the design of the information so that it's not so structured for billing, but more structured for ensuring we have proper medical care that creates good experience between physicians and their patients.
Absolutely. Well, Carlos, I want to thank you for your time. I'm really excited to say that up next, we have your workshop partner, Chelsea Barabbas, and we're going to bring her on, but I want to thank you for spending your time with us here today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.